How do you know if your dream is a God-given dream or if it's just a selfish dream that you came up with yourself?
Well, I think if it's a God-given dream, it's a dream that won't let you go. Sometimes with dreams, we try to hold on to dreams, and they get away from us. But I have found that when God's dream gets a hold of your heart, it gets a hold of you. And that's one of the things we were talking about in the book. I know when I came to Los Angeles thinking that I was going to pastor a church, I had it all figured out what I thought my dream was going to be. But when that dream died, a different dream got a hold of me. And it was a dream that inspired me, that encouraged me, that was different than what I thought. But yet at the same time, it would not let me go. I'd wake up in the morning and it wasn't the typical burden that would come and go. It was a calling that would grip me. And so I think the difference is trying to find the difference between someone who's chasing after trying to find significance in life rather than serving your generation, and then the things of life will grip your heart. And that's one of the things we found in the book, is that God's dream for you is often different than what you thought your life would be, and that's okay. And I think sometimes we show up somewhere and say, this is what I think I'm going to do, and God will get you to that place where He wants you to be. And in the midst of that, your dream will oftentimes can change into something you never thought, and it's outside the comfort zone where you need God to pull you through. And that's always a place you want to be.
You said unforgiveness can hold people back from living their dream.
We deal with people who've had lifelong addictions at the Dream Center, 20, 30-year addictions to heroin, all kinds of issues. And we found that in dealing with people in a year of recovery, that their lack of forgiveness was the number one thing that was holding them back. And so that's one of the things that we deal with. A lot of people come in hurt and wounded, and the drugs or whatever they go through are things that really just it's kind of their homemade therapy, which is misplaced, and trying to help them get free. But once we get to the place where we truly deal with the root of the problem of unforgiveness, that's when life usually begins. And it's staggering to see how someone's life can totally transform by just getting that one aspect right.
The people in your church are so passionate about serving, but that's not true for all Christians and all churches. How do you become a person that is passionate about serving in the community, that cares about the needs in the community? If that's not in you, how do you get it in you?
Well, I think sometimes people think that serving is a destination. When I get a building, then we'll do this, or when we get a facility, then we'll do this. But it's not a destination, it's a journey. And serving begins the moment you decide to step out of yourself, to spend your life waking up in the morning looking for little ways to make a difference, little ways to make an impact. And usually great ministries are born out of that little heart and that mindset of every day waking up and how can we make a difference, or how can we encourage somebody at the restaurant, how can we be the biggest blessing everywhere that we go, how can we provide for a kid that can't pay his league fees, and you start living little things like that, and often visions become big things out of that. And that's what's happened at the Dream Center. We took on our first person with a drug addiction, and it wasn't much we could do. Our first feeding ministry started with 3 bags for my salary that I would get as a little 20-year-old pastor, and now it's turned into something that's out of control in a good way, you know. So the reality is, I think a lot of people think that, we have to have a program. It's got to be this. We got to have it all figured out before we start. No, that's the beauty of serving. You don't have to get to figure it out. You just have to start where you are, use what you have, and then the process of miracles begins.
That's good stuff. Well, thank you so much for being with us in the Green Room, Matthew. It's a pleasure.
It's an honor to be with you. Thank you.